Hey guys, my name's Chris Erdner, and just want to first thank each of you for attending today. We are going to go over assessment, but before I get into that, I want each of you to take a moment, think about what that word means to you. What comes to mind when you hear the word assessment? Um, think about what feelings or thoughts, so forth, pop into your head. And then I want you to respond to the following question. We'll give you a moment to do so. Okay, so I want each of you to um, reflect on what everyone says in the room. I think it's important that as teachers, we are aware of um, the various uh, ways people think about the world that we live in. I teach history, and so I'm very cognizant of the fact that I'm not the only person in this world, and that people view the world in many different ways, even though we may be looking at one thing or another. So, uh, having said all of that, I want to talk about assessment. Assessment is a touchy issue. If you've ever been a student such as myself, where you just absolutely hated testing, uh, you know that can really be tough on you in a classroom. I know it did in my experience. I also knew that as I matured, that assessment, um, testing, tests were not indicative of how intelligent I was or how capable I was as a person. But as a child growing up, I didn't necessarily always understood that. Um, and as a human being, you do something so many times, eventually you start to question yourself, your capabilities, your intelligence, and so forth. And so it's very important that we flesh out why. Why are we uh, giving tests? Why are we doing the things that we are doing in the classroom? Um, you wouldn't go about your life just, you may, but personally, I don't just do things just randomly. Usually, I understand why I'm doing what I'm doing, even if that doing is nothing. I may be just laying on the couch, and my wife may say, "What are you doing?" Well, I'm relaxing. There's a purpose, is what I'm getting at, and my hope is that through this PD, you will understand, or at least get a grasp of why we use assessment. Um, I use assessment in my classroom for a number of reasons. Uh, and to get straight to the point, I don't use tests uh, as a final indicator of whether a student has mastered the content, although that does lend itself to uh, suggesting whether a student, one way or the other, understands the content. What I will say is that I use assessment almost every day in my classroom uh, to determine what students are where they need to be and what students are not. And then take that information and use it as my rudder or my steering wheel for where I go in that classroom for instruction. So, on that note, we are going to begin this lesson. Thank you all for joining, and I look forward to talking to each of you.